My amp unit, we're about to talk some Smackdown Live for August 13th, 2019. A show where WWE accidentally put actual wrestling onto its programming. There's a concept. But first I want to discuss a couple of Smackdown Live stars in an out-of-the-ring capacity. First one being Smackdown Live Women's Champion Bayley. She wasn't used on the show last night, but she was involved in a backstage WWE.com exclusive interview where she was asked about her best friend Sasha Banks and her actions from Monday night. Now, Bayley gave the most PC down-the-middle answer she possibly could have given, saying, and I quote, "We all know Sasha Banks is my best friend, my girl, my A1, but we also know that I'm friends with Natty and Becky. So I think it's best if I just stay quiet on the situation," and Bayley walked away. So it's interesting that they even had Bayley speak about it. But she didn't really spill the beans too much on her relationship with Sasha and how much she knew beforehand. She didn't totally disengage or separate from Sasha Banks or the situation, and she also didn't condone Sasha Banks' actions. Will they ever cross paths in the future, Sasha and Bayley? Remains to be seen, right? It doesn't look like their trajectories are on the same path at all in the near future. Sasha on Raw, Bayley on SmackDown Live. With the stupid wild card rule, or even without the rule, just if Vince McMahon decides to swap people every given show, who knows if they'll cross paths sooner rather than later. I will say this, they have unfinished business, Bayley and Sasha. And I don't mean in the Boston Hug connection or reigniting that tag team. I mean they have unfinished business in that ring one-on-one. Because you guys remember back before that Boston Hug connection tag team started, you guys remember how intense their feud and rivalry was? Sasha and Bayley were involved in one of the best feuds at that time. And then within a week or two, wham. We never even got an outcome. We never got a conclusion, a finale in that rivalry. Instead, Dr. Shelby was brought in, and that friendship turned to almost a love affair between the two. It was weird. And then the tag team formated, and for the next year plus, we saw Sasha and Bayley taking on the Riot Squad. All of that culminated in Sasha and Bayley finally getting tag straps for just a few weeks, and then they lost the straps. Sasha Banks was gone for 127 days. Bayley went on to do her own singles thing, and here we are today. Still, with no conclusion or finale from their feud and rivalry at that time. Which again, was heated. It was awesome remembering Bayley's beatdown on Sasha at ringside and then the brawl they had backstage in the locker room. It was heated. We needed to see that finale. Forget NXT TakeOver and the matches they put on there. Let's do something brand new. Put them on the main stage with or without a championship. Give them 20 minutes plus and let them rock out and tear the roof off the place. No. Boston Hug Connection was formated. Now it's easy to play Monday morning quarterback and say, wow, that was a wasted year plus. But the Amplified Man said that from the beginning. But Bayley did leave those comments. Again, it leaves you to wonder, down the line, do we see them at one point? Is Sasha Banks in this new heel character going to one day turn on Bayley again? I'm all for it. The flip side of that is Sasha Banks' heel character going to be so popular that she's forced to be an in-betweener? Like Becky Lynch. They tried to turn her heel, it became so popular, she was an in-betweener, and then she just became a face. And it ruined everything. So many questions with this whole Sasha Banks thing. Let's just be happy that we're where we're at right now with Sasha, and that her and Bayley for the time are separated and doing their own singles thing. And again, down the road, hopefully we will see the conclusion with Bayley and Sasha. But Bayley did open up a little bit anyway in that WWE.com exclusive interview from last night. Also, another WWE SmackDown Live star in an out-of-the-ring capacity to speak about, and that's Roman Reigns. He did recently sign a new contract with WWE. The exact details are unspecified at the moment. We believe it to be a 5-year, multi-million-dollar deal, though. One of the most lucrative 5-year deals that the company has given. At least that's word going around the campfire. But whether you love Roman or not, Roman Reigns is the poster boy for that company for the foreseeable future. So, just wanted to pass that along to you guys as well. Hey, let's talk some Smackdown Live for August 13th, 2019, shall we? Again, as I opened up this video with, they put some actual wrestling onto this show. Not at the jump, though. At the jump, it was Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon kicking off SmackDown Live in a back-and-forth promo. Shane McMahon questions the way Owens won their match at SummerSlam and says, "What man would do that?" Of course, speaking about the low blow and how he had to kind of cheat to win, even though it doesn't make sense because Shane was also cheating at SummerSlam. But anyway, Owens retaliates, and I quote, "I'm not going to take lessons on how to be a man from someone that was in a group called the Mean Street Posse." So Owens did another low blow, this time verbally, to Shane McMahon, and he actually brought up and mentioned the Mean Street Posse. That's kind of funny. Shane tells Owens that he'll be in action later in the night, and for laying his hands on Elias at SummerSlam, who was a company official at the time at SummerSlam, Owens is slapped with a $100,000 fine. Owens completely loses his shit at that moment. He's like, "Are you serious? $100,000? You're taking food off of my family's table. That could be a down payment on a house. That could be my children's college tuition. I asked you to reconsider." Shane McMahon's like, "Nope, that's final." He goes backstage. Owens is pissed. We go to commercial. When we come back from commercial, Owens is storming into Shane McMahon's office, and he not begs, but he pleads that Shane McMahon reconsiders that $100,000 fine, telling Shane McMahon, "That $100,000 may mean nothing to you, but it means everything to me and my family." Shane McMahon refuses to budge and says, "There's lessons that need to be learned, and you were taught one tonight." And Shane McMahon goes, "Fine. $100,000, what's 5,000 more?" He takes a stool and he sends it right through Shane McMahon's flat screen TV. And he storms off. So, I don't know where this is leading, guys. And again, Shane McMahon later, a couple of segments later, actually handpicked Samoa Joe to be the one to take on Kevin Owens later in the night. And I just don't know where this all leads. Are we continuing the Shane McMahon-Owens storyline, just not with Shane as one of the competitors? But Shane is going to continue to be the thorn in Kevin Owens' side? Almost like Stone Cold McMahon, right? Stone Cold was never taking on McMahon every fucking week, but McMahon was the thorn in Stone Cold's side. Is that what they're going to try to recreate? That the authority is all within Shane, and Shane is always sticking it to Owens? I don't know. That's what it looks like. So anybody that thought Shane McMahon was sailing off into the sunset, no. It looks like he's sticking around, and I'm cool with that. I've always liked Shane McMahon. I don't get this fake outrage. He's taking up all this time and shit. Yes, there's one problem with that theory. He's one of the best fucking people to be out there. WWE hasn't created any fucking stars, so what they're trying to say, those fans that are creating the fake outrage, is that if you took Shane off TV, they could be building superstars. But if you're not building superstars the rest of the hour and a half plus on SmackDown, then what do you think the 10 to 15 minutes that Shane is taking up is going to do? Show to me, prove to me that you can create stars outside of the hour and a half, and then maybe I could say, hey man, you could use Shane McMahon's 15 minutes too if he would just step to the side. Shane McMahon is still one of the most captivating performers when you go to any pay-per-view. His matches stand out amongst most of them. So don't feed me the bullshit that Shane McMahon is single-handedly bringing down the product. Bullshit. Sorry, not sorry. I had to get that out there, man. I'm amused by the fake outrage, but this one guy is bringing down the company. He repulses me when he comes out. No, he's a damn good heel, actually, and his matches stick out on paper, and then when he puts on his matches, they're some of the best, most captivating matches. Shane can't wrestle. Bullshit. Those fucking chants are the most hilarious to the Amplified man. He can't wrestle. I could give you 10 fucking epic matches that Shane McMahon were in. Were stunts involved? Absolutely. But if you're gonna take those matches away from Shane, then you gotta take Mick Foley's matches. His greatest matches, you gotta take away from Mick Foley. So you're telling me Mick Foley isn't a Hall of Famer? Bullshit. Oh, man, I tell you. The fickle fans these days. Fickle! Fickle! Right, Daniel Bryan? Fickle! It's the best word Daniel Bryan could have came out with. I love that. Because it's so true with today's pro wrestling fan, man. So anyway, where does I even fucking go? Yeah, so I'm okay with Shane being on there. I don't necessarily need to see him in the ring, but him taking up TV time is cool. He's a captivating character for yours truly. And we saw last night, if you just give good storylines, like this mystery attacker angle, if you give us good matches, like Ember, Charlotte, Buddy Murphy, Roman, if you do all the other things correctly, Shane McMahon will just be a part of a good program. The problem with WWE is they haven't been putting together any pieces to the puzzle to make a good program. So everybody just looked at Shane and said, he's the problem. No, he's a fun part of the show. He can help elevate motherfuckers. That's my 2 cents. Anyway, I don't know where this is going, though. Shane and fucking Owens looks to be continuing all the way through. Who knows? Another Hell in a Cell, which is coming up in a couple of months. We already saw them in a Hell in a Cell match. Let's do it again. Again, I don't think Shane will actually be a competitor or someone going against Shane, though, in the ring. I think from this point on, you might just be seeing Shane act as a thorn in the side of Owens. That's what I believe. That's what I'm speculating. We'll see. Charlotte versus Ember Moon is up next. And yes, this is a damn good match, guys. No entrances, both already in the ring, ready to just do their thing. They actually gave these two a 12-minute match, and the only commercial that was displayed was in split screen format. So we never really got taken away from the action. So we didn't miss anything. We got to see a 12-minute, and not that long, I know, but when you see 2-minute women's matches all the time, 12 minutes, and we got to see the whole entire match, that's saying something, man. Ember Moon is great. Charlotte is great. You give them more than 5 minutes, they'll give you a damn good match. Last night, they gave them more than 5 minutes, and they gave us a damn good match. Think about it. What a concept. Give them a little, they'll give you a lot. You guys go back and watch this match, you'll see that the majority of this match was fast-paced. They were working in there. They were taking risks, showcasing what they got. In the end, Charlotte taps out Ember via the figure 8. I have no problem with that. You can look at this one of two ways, right? One way, you can look at it as win or lose. Ember looked dominant in there. She looked good. She looked like she could hang toe-to-toe with Vince's golden child. She looked great. Win or lose, at least she got that time to show the world what she has to offer. You could look at it like that, but here's why I have the issue with that. Tom Phillips, and I quote, said, "Sunday we found out what Ember is capable of." That's what he said during that match. Tom Phillips said, "Sunday we found out what Ember is capable of." Here's the problem I have with that. She's been on the main roster for 16 months. 16 months! And you're telling me, Tom Phillips, that Sunday we found out what she's... Why did we not find out what she's capable of in the last 16 months? Right? I mean, I know the answer. As a diehard fan, we know who Ember Moon is in NXT and beforehand. But for the casual fan, for them to just be finding out Sunday what she's capable of, you don't find a problem with that, Tom Phillips? You don't find a problem with that company? You don't find a problem with that casual fan or any fan that thinks I'm just overthinking that? Or overanalyzing that little nugget of information? No, when the Tom Phillips, a company stooge for that organization, says, "Sunday we found out what Ember is capable of," I have an issue with that. 16 months on that roster, you haven't given her the time of day once. You have not given her one meaningful storyline, not even with her most recent matchup, the biggest of her main roster career, with Bayley for the title. That wasn't even a story. In fact, you still made her look like a chump leading into SummerSlam. So yeah, I have an issue with that. She was only injured for a few months during that main roster run. So for the other fucking months, year, that she was under your guidance and tutelage and you could have used her and do something, no, you had her backstage reading Harry Potter books and playing Super Nintendo Switch, or whatever the fuck it's called. Do I look like I played video games? Nintendo, is there a Super Nintendo Switch? Who the fuck knows? I'm old school Nintendo, man. You had fucking Mario Brothers, the original. You guys remember that? I'm losing it anyway, but I remember that shit. That's the games I used to fucking play, man. Regular Super Mario. And I had one mission, one goal: save the princess! Fuck you, Koopa! Fuck am I talking about? Oh yeah, so, what am I talking about? Yeah, so Ember Moon, fucking, you could have used her in 16 fucking months. Let's get with it, will you? So you can look at it in a way like she was utilized correctly last night. Win or lose, she looked strong, she looked awesome. But I also have a fault in why are we just seeing that now? Now on the flip side, you look at Charlotte winning this match. It makes sense, yes. She's beaten everybody in big matches. She's beaten Sasha Banks before, and Bayley, and Naomi, and now Ember, and she's beaten fucking Becky Lynch, and she took Asuka's streak, and so it makes sense, obviously. And realistically, whether you like her or not, she is one of the best wrestlers, especially female-wise, in the world. But, again, that's whether you like her or not. Yes, even I will admit that. But I just don't know why Ember had to go in there just 2 nights after losing at SummerSlam and take a clean loss. Charlotte is supposed to be a heel, right? Or that's what she should be. Do a little bit of a low blow or some cheatery, some schmazzery in there. Little no harm, no foul. Make Ember look a little better at the finish. That's all I ask. Why did it have to be clean? We have a damn good match, and all of a sudden Charlotte shows that she needs a little bit of an edge. You know, she knows she can beat Ember in her mind, but why go through the extra effort? The ref was turned around for a second, or there was a slight distraction, or Charlotte found a moment to take advantage of Ember Moon. That's what she did. That's what I would have liked to have seen. So Ember, after the match, could just be like, oh, I almost had you. If you didn't pull out your fucking bag of tricks, I'll see you again in the future. But here, it was definitive. Charlotte just cakewalked over on Ember. Okay, maybe not cakewalk. It was a damn good seesaw match. But in the end, it was the same result I've seen for 16 months. Ember Moon flat on her back looking at the lights. Did we need Charlotte to get that clean win over Ember? Was it needed? Believable, yes. Needed? Rhetorical. Now. They kind of threw some shots over at Chris Jericho last night. Did you guys notice that? There was like a lion tamer in that match via Charlotte onto Ember. And I believe some shit, it was almost like a springboard code breaker. Or not really springboard because she was on the second rope, but it was a pretty badass code breaker via Ember to Charlotte. So some Chris Jericho moves while in Canada. So I don't know if Vince told him to add that in there or they just had some fun with it. Or maybe it was just fucking coincidence. Who the fuck knows? I catch those things. But other than that, damn good match, guys. Damn good match. Ember, and again, they gave them the time. 12 minutes doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're on a television show like Smackdown that doesn't produce a lot of matches over 10 minutes, and on top of that, the only commercial was a split screen, so we didn't miss any of the action? Guys, that's actually fucking badass, honestly. And again, the match delivered. That was a damn good, solid women's matchup. Ember and Charlotte. And I love how they just... Or I don't know, man. They were just in the ring ready to go, you know? I kind of... In a weird way, I kind of liked it. But I like the entrances, too, because that's where casual fans that are just tuning in, they really get to get captivated up front by a superstar. So you're taking a risk by just having them in the ring. It doesn't seem as meaningful. But it's Ember and Charlotte. It's a big fight feel anyway for yours truly. So I was into it. Damn good match. Let's end hour number 1 with Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. They hit the top of the ramp, and D-Bry vows not only were they not involved in the recent Roman Reigns incidents, but he's going to prove that it wasn't them later in the night. And then they walked back. So they stayed at the top of the stage and they vowed this to everyone, walked back, and that finished up hour number 1. Hour number 2 begins with another damn good, was it second in a row, right? Because only Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan split it up, so second match in a row. Damn good, man. Buddy Murphy versus Roman Reigns. Again, never did we question the talent of Buddy Murphy. Last week, I had some hard-hitting comments about Buddy because the whole wrestling world was pissed off and up in arms because Roman got roughed up a little bit. Or I'm sorry, Buddy Murphy got roughed up a little bit by Roman Reigns during his interrogation last week. And everybody was like, fucking Buddy Murphy's, he's done. He's ruined. He's buried. And I was the only voice of reason in this whole entire community that was telling you guys, relax. Give this a chance. You're flipping out about Buddy Murphy. There's a lot of other talents you could be flipping out about. And I said, who knows? I said that in last week's review. I told you guys, let it play out. Maybe Buddy Murphy has a continuing role in this feud. And sure enough, this led to a dynamite match last night with Roman Reigns. And that might not even be the last of it with Buddy Murphy. This could lead to more shit. You could say he was made because of last night's matchup. And that stemmed from what started last week. I told you guys, relax. Everyone was saying he's buried, he's done, he's ruined, he's finished. No. Be happy he's in a story with the big dog. Right, Michael Cole? The big dog. It seemed like I was the only one in this community that said, relax. Let this thing play out, man. Buddy Murphy is not the second coming of Christ. He's got the talent. Yes, let's see where this goes. This could be the starting point for Buddy Murphy. Gee, again the Amplified Man was right, man. Shocker! I told you guys, let this thing play out, man. So Buddy Murphy takes on Roman Reigns last night, and just like Ember and Charlotte earlier, Murphy gets no entrance either. Of course, the biggest dog gets his entrance. We have to, right? He's the biggest dog. They gave these two 13 minutes, so they even gave them another minute more than Ember and Charlotte. Again, on Smackdown or on any WWE TV, you don't usually see matches over 10 minutes, or it's not common. So they gave these two 13 minutes with one commercial break. Unfortunately, this wasn't a split screen. We actually went to commercial, but only one break. So we caught the majority of the action, at least 9 minutes of it. I have to be honest, commercial included, I guess you could say. I wasn't impressed with the first 7 or 8 minutes. I just wasn't. It wasn't captivating me. I know what Murphy is capable of. And for Roman, I guess it was a run-of-the-mill match. I just wasn't captivated by the first 7 or 8 minutes, to be honest. But the last 5 minutes, business picked up. And it started to feel, honestly, like a pay-per-view match. So it's almost like, to me, the first 7-ish minutes were like an appetizer, just kind of leading up to the grand finale. That last 5 minutes, man, they rocked it out. And it felt, the last 5 minutes, it just felt like a pay-per-view match. It was really fucking good. After a badass Superman punch on the outside and being rolled back into the ring, Buddy Murphy took one hell of a spear from Roman, literally turning him inside out. I said Murphy is up there now with Dolph Ziggler as far as who sells the spear best. Because I felt at SummerSlam, the way that Dolph Ziggler sold that spear from Goldberg, nobody was gonna top that. It's almost like Buddy Murphy said, "Hold my beer," and he went to give it his try because that was badass. I can't decide which one was better. You know, one, the Goldberg spear knocked Dolph Ziggler into the fucking 7th row, and last night Roman Reigns turned Buddy Murphy inside out. So I don't know whose spear was sold better, but Buddy Murphy is up there with Dolph now as far as selling. And when it was all said and done, of course, the spear was so badass that Roman got the W, 1, 2, 3. I feel that's what should have happened, absolutely. Anyone upset with that, that's too bad. You showcased Buddy Murphy. See, Ember Moon, okay, there's an issue. 16 months on the roster, and she's just now showing the world what she has because she's been held down. For Buddy Murphy on the main roster, he's been held down for what, a couple of months tops? I mean, that's nothing compared to Ember's gripe. So, I mean, I felt that was the right thing. And again, it's Roman Reigns in there. Roman getting this W, no harm, no foul, especially the way it was done. You can not like Roman all you want, but guys, last night, Roman did the job for Buddy Murphy. And I know you're thinking, BC, what are you talking about? He won the match. He didn't do no job. No, he did the job for Buddy Murphy. And any real wrestling fan that knows what they're talking about, they know what I'm saying right now. Roman Reigns went above and beyond for Buddy Murphy last night. Roman didn't have to give him 13 minutes. Roman didn't have to make this match a seesaw match. Roman didn't have to get his ass whooped a lot of that match by Buddy Murphy. No, he did that for Buddy Murphy. He knew that he could help Buddy Murphy. Roman actually helped Buddy Murphy last night. He could have gotten that golden shovel out. He could have went to Vince. He's got the stature in that company now. He could have went to Vince and say, Vince, I'm not giving this kid 13 minutes. I'm not going to do I'm not going to sell for him this much. I'm not going to fucking get beat up around the ring half of this match. No. He went and he did that for Buddy Murphy, guys. He made Buddy Murphy look like $1 million fucking in there. Again, fans that know Buddy Murphy before even his main roster, we know he's got the talent to do such. But what Roman did in that ring last night, even if you don't like him, guys, you got to give Roman some of that credit. You could say they helped Roman Reigns, put Buddy Murphy on the map last night. He didn't have to do that. And again, pure wrestling fans, diehards, they know what I'm talking about. So that was huge, man. My only gripe here, my only gripe that comes out of this is, does every single cruiserweight guy have to do the same old redundant dive off the top rope and into the rampway? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? When their opponent is in the rampway and they look, their eyes open wide, they run over to the ropes and they run back and they dive over the rope and do the stupid fucking flip. Every fucking cruiserweight adds that into every single one of their matches. Now you could take Buddy Murphy off of the cruiserweight roster now. He is part of the main roster. Okay, so right there, stop doing the cruiserweight shtick. We all get it. You can run and do a flip. You can run and dive. We get it. Nowadays, it's almost like it's criteria. If you want to be a pro wrestler, you got to jump over the top rope and do a flip. It's so redundant, it's so stale that to me, it's lame now. It is lame. The fact that anybody in attendance or fucking on their couch can pop for that nowadays is beyond me. It's mind-boggling. You watch somebody do the same thing and you're like, wow, he flipped over the top rope. Insane. And every single time, they don't even land on their opponent. They graze the top of their shoulder or the top of their back and that's devastating? That's going to take out the opponent? That's my gripe. That shit's got, even in the cruiserweight division, I want that ended. It's time to get creative, boys and gals. You've been doing this shit for years now. The shtick is old. It's as fucking old and stale and redundant and boring and lame as the New Day gimmick. Kevin Owens, he took on Samoa Joe next. Elias is introduced as a special enforcer, just like he was at SummerSlam. So again, Shane McMahon is still sticking it to Owens. The two brutes went at it for a good minute or two, maybe at best, before Owens actually hit Joe with a pop-up powerbomb. Think about that for a moment, please. Samoa Joe received a pop-up powerbomb. Did you visualize that? Yeah, pretty damn cool. Yeah, before the ref hits 3, though, Elias drags him out of the ring, drags the referee out. Owens gets rolled up by Samoa Joe. Elias reinserts himself into the ring, so Elias is now in the ring. Again, Owens is rolled up by Samoa Joe, and Elias hits a very fast 1, 2, 3. Joe, I don't know I can't recall if I've ever seen a faster count. Can you guys? I know we've seen fast counts before, but this, Elias took this really seriously. Elias got in this ring and he just literally, he was gone. And he ran. Elias was running up that rampway, man. He was gone. Obviously, fucking Kevin Owens was pissed off. You know what I mean? He knew he just got screwed over, not just by Shane, but by Elias. So now it's Shane McMahon's henchmen and stooges are now also screwing him over. So, yeah, I mean, it was what it was. It's going to prolong, I guess, the Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon rivalry. I just don't know where it goes. Shane McMahon is going to have to come up with somebody new other than Elias and Drew McIntyre. If Shane McMahon is going to introduce a new opponent, foe, and somebody to go against Kevin Owens, it has to be somebody new now. Elias and Owens is not going to intrigue me. Food for thought. But that's how that whole thing ended, man. Elias with the fast count. And backstage, we have D-Bry and Rowan. They clear out the locker room by force. And Buddy Murphy is told to stay and admit that he lied last week. After being roughed up, Buddy finally admits he lied to Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. And then he still gets roughed up anyway. Because they let him go and Daniel Bryan goes, "I hate liars." And Eric Rowan just chucks him across the locker room. I don't know about this. It was definitely a fun segment. I did love it in one capacity. On the other hand, you just had Buddy Murphy look really, really strong. And then you put him in another situation where he's being tossed around, flung around, and the main problem I had is when he started screaming out, "I lied! I lied!" He hit a whole nother pitch I never knew imaginable. So he went from being looking strong to kind of like, I guess you could say he's paying his dues, so I'm fine with that. And it is Daniel Bryan and Rowan, so it's believable that he'd be tossed around. But I didn't need him screaming, top of his lungs, "I lied, I lied." Made him look a little bit weak. To end the show, we had the main event of what was supposed to be Big E and Xavier taking on the Revival. However, it turns into a six-man tag when Randy Orton and Kofi Kingston get involved. Look, it wasn't a bad match, but I'm just not going to sit here and review a six-man schmaz match. I'm not going to do it. Like, I actually gave a fuck because I didn't. Not going to review this like I gave a fuck because I didn't. A Shatter Machine ends it for the Revival in Orton. And post-match, there was some extracurricular activity where Orton just RKO'd everyone of the New Day. And Randy Orton looked really dominant because they want to set up a rematch, Orton and Kingston. So the whole night kind of ended with him RKOing Xavier, Kofi, and Big E. And again, the winners of the six-man tag via a Shatter Machine was Revival in Orton. So at least the Revival looked probably the best they've looked in a long time. Again, it was a six-man schmaz. I'm not going to sit here and spend a lot of time on it. I did not care about this. I couldn't care less, actually, if I'm being honest. I hate six-man tag matches. Hate them. With a passion. And I gotta be honest with you guys, man. This match did nothing for me, as all six-man tags don't. And that's another reason why the New Day gimmick is just stale to me. Because I know they're a three-man group. You're gonna see an abundant amount of six-mans. And I'm seeing the same jokes. I don't see how anybody can be that high on the New Day. What are you loving about them in 2019, August of 2019? What are they doing now that you haven't seen in the past fucking 5 years? It's, you know, everyone has their own opinion and likes. That's cool, man. But if you're really popping out of your seat for this group, if you don't want to see anything new out of them, I don't know what to tell you, man. We're on two different sides of the spectrum. I want Big E on his fucking own. This whole title reign by Kofi should have been on his own, not shoving pancakes into his championship. Nah, BC, they're the hottest act in the world still. Oh yeah, they're hot, man. Those six-man tags are riveting. BC, they're making Vince way too much money. Yeah, hey, you want to go there? Not as much as they were back in the day. I know, I have the metrics. I have the fucking financials of their merchandise. They ain't making Vince that type of money anymore. Oh, no. But Vince knows that he can market them, right? He knows He's got that diversity in the New Day, and he can market them. In 2019, that's what Vince can use. Use is the key word as his marketing tool. I'm not fucking stunad. I know what's going on. That was Smackdown Live. The main event didn't do it for me. Luckily, it didn't literally end with that, though. It actually ended with D-Bryan Rowan waiting for Roman Reigns in the locker room, and Reigns finally shows up, and Daniel Bryan demands an apology from Roman Reigns. And Roman refuses, doesn't say a word. In fact, puts his towel down, and he goes to step up to both Bryan and Rowan, and Daniel Bryan's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Before this goes where it probably shouldn't. We know who the attacker was, and next week, we will reveal him. Fade to black, we go off the air. So we still have that cliffhanger from this whole angle. I told you guys. I said it from the beginning, and everyone's like, wow, this is horrible. They shouldn't have announced Rowan's name. They shouldn't have said Rowan. They shouldn't have ended the storyline last week. It should have kept going, and I told you guys, let it go, and it will go. Let it play out. This story's not over yet. Sure enough, here we are after SummerSlam, the post-Raw and SmackDown, and the story is still going forward. I told you guys, we're gonna continue this shit. Buddy Murphy wins in this, Rowan wins in this, and Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns in the future, this builds because of this. Everything is winning. Everybody in the whole situation is a win-win. And the fans win because we get a cliffhanger again. People just need to let shit play out. Fickle. Relax. Relax. There's a bunch of concerns in that company still. We address them all the time on this channel. But sometimes, sit back, watch as a fan, and try to enjoy it. And if you do such, you're gonna find little nuggets here and there of shit that is like, whoa, this is kind of cool. I like this. There's a concept. When you stop bitching and complaining all the time, you're gonna find shit you actually like. I know the easy thing to do is to be miserable all the time. Try to find good shit in life. Good shit! And you will prosper. And you will actually start to enjoy shit. This storyline, whether you like it or not, is good. Give it a chance. Warm up to it. Let it come into your life. Let it come into your heart. It's a damn good story. Let it play out, guys. Stop bitching and moaning on social media every fucking time you think it didn't go right. It's going beautifully. Listen, guys, the end result, spoiler, I'm spoiling this for you guys. The end result is Roman and Daniel Bryan. This is the match that they want to get to. So the way they did it was this whole angle. I love it. What's the alternative? They just pretty much announced that that's the match for the next pay-per-view? At least they're having fun with it. They're giving us a story. What more can you ask for? You asked for a good story, they give it to you. Now you want to dissect it even more well, they didn't do this right, and they should have done this, and this should have happened. I think it's going off without a fucking hitch, without an issue. If you have an issue with it, I don't know what to tell you, man. Try your best to get your ass into that company then and change things from within. Because this is what we've all been asking for. They finally gave it to us. Now we're gonna fucking nitpick every little detail? Come on, bro. The company had 100 million problems beforehand. Let's see where they're going with this. That's my spiel. Put my monologue at the end of the video today, right? I haven't even, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I did that whole video without even having an initial coffee. It doesn't often happen. So fuck double fisting. I'm walking out of Starbucks in about 20 minutes with fucking both arms jacked up to capacity. I'm gonna have my fucking arms full of just coffees. They're gonna think I'm a lunatic or I'm coming back to an office and I'm giving like 20 employees coffees. No. There's no office. There's no employees. All 20 of these coffees are the Amplified Man's. And obviously, this world is not safe today when the Amplified Man is finished with that 20th coffee. Because this Wednesday is about to get amplified. Amplified Man. Ow! Check you later.